little arrow says it's back this way. It's kind of how I remember it. All right, there. This Gunk series is going pretty smoothly as far as getting the clips together and loading them. I was going to talk about a couple of other issues since they're on my mind. I'm trying to get all the fucking mental garbage out. You know, as much as I can and as quick as I can. And it's going to help me make judgments in the future and all. I want to talk about some issues though, since Can of Worms been open. You know, if you watch Funny Argument from Homer Cocktail 2, some things were said. And was there mild resolution? I'm not really sure. In the middle of argument, my dad said, your inheritance is gone. And he said, you can have your bachelor's, but forget your inheritance or whatever. Not that he's giving me my bachelor's, it would be the school doing that. And if I had a choice, I'd take the bachelor's because I like to believe I'm, earning my way in society. And leave it at that. My dad was an electrician in the Union. Before that, though, he was in the Air Force. He calls himself a peacetime veteran because he served in between Korea and Vietnam in that little stretch when the United States was at peace. He was stationed in Japan. And stuff that I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that he's told me because part of this Gunk series touched on the past between me and my dad and all. But he told me about life, while I'm going through college. Regimented, everyone's heard the word, for the military. But he says it doesn't apply just to the military. It applies to people at jobs, society or whatever, that they try to regiment you, as much as this country preaches freedom and all, they want you standing in lines, you're not going to just go up and go to the front of the line, and, they want you wearing certain fashions and, whatever they have you doing. You have, what Metallica sang out, freedom with their exceptions, Another thing that he talked about was subsistence living. And we lost a house after a pizza store was bought. House a couple lots over, I've talked about that. And for a while, times were a little tough economically. I figure you rise as a family, you fall as a family. And if there's ever frustration, it's when someone else's mistakes affect your lives. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I came here to live with you because you were a lonely person, and the worst of it, at the very worst of it, he was stripping copper from wires because he's an electrician. This is 98 in the summer. And selling it for recycled materials to keep the lights on. That was at the very worst of it. There was a lien on this property and a lien on some other things. The last of the liens came off in 2005. And the argument kind of began because he seemed to pretend, or maybe it's something I'd consider maybe a delusion or something, that whatever struggles I've had, he doesn't see that his decisions have affected my life. You know, I had a good girlfriend at the time, someone that loved me and went through school in 4 years. Broke up with me partly because of the struggles that were going on after my dad invested in that pizza store, and she was making $26 an hour with her very first job as a nurse, RN. And that's no big deal. Me and her, it just wasn't meant to be anyway. We butted heads quite a bit. She's more of a friend than a girlfriend or anything like that. And he's mad at his other friend from a long time ago. His name's Roman. Stay to keep with first names here. Because Roman, when the pizza business started going down, he was a private contractor. He wasn't a union guy like my dad is. Roman invested in that pizza store to help my dad. Roman lost his house, lost his family. And my dad doesn't understand that the people sacrificed to try to help him. And they lost a lot. And now he drives around in Acura, and he got a place in near the beach in San Diego. And he doesn't just have an Acura, he has a truck too that he makes payments on. And if you don't do what he says, he's trying to regiment me. And this is what he taught me to avoid in life, being regimented. And that's where the argument is. I'd rather say, I have savings. I'd rather hit the road, use my bachelor's, and never see him again, than to do what he told me not to do, which is be regimented. And subsistence. Subsistence is like rations in the military. You're barely having enough to stay alive, and that's what I've done for a few years. Over here, when me and my buddy John were still talking and communicating, not even showing the refrigerator, man. Had ramen in there. There's more food for the dogs than for me. And why am I covering it now? I'm not really sure. I figured, in for a penny, in for a pound. I felt compelled to put that video on my Homer Cocktail 2 site, the funny arguments, just in case he's serious. I talked about it in a different Gunk piece. We got in this altercation. Then he got Old West on my ass. You know how Pulp Fiction, I can get medieval on your ass? He got Old West on my ass. He literally told me, get off this lot by sundown. And the guy really doesn't remember, man, what his life was like to begin with, and why I came here instead of at my sister's. Because you're a lonely man, and I'm trying to help you. Anyhow, he gets on his feet, then he starts belittling people, and that pattern's got to stop is all. So I'm in there doing this Gunk series, and it mostly feels pretty good. Getting a load off and thinking positively about the future. So we'll keep this going. I'll keep you posted. Maybe this Gunk gets up to like in the hundreds. Gunk 328, I'll be in Seattle, and second year on my job or out there or something. Trying to make sure that loggers aren't going too far as far as what they're allowed to cut down, or I don't know what the fuck I'll be doing in the environment, but I studied ecology at Claremont, and that's what I'll be using. So you guys have a good time. There's someone out there that's walking by. So anyhow, party on. Have a good time. Party on.
Programación espectacular las 24 horas del día. Claro, también te podrás enterar de todos los chismes de la farándula visitando ya univision.com. Uniclave recuerdo. Seguro que te vas a sorprender. AutoZone. Prepara tu motor para el viaje de verano. Venga, AutoZone. ¿No listo?
Okay, a little more walking now. Yeah, that was administration right here. But that's not where you go for transcripts. Go straight ahead and to the right now. Straight ahead to the right.